After a very windy night on the mountainside, we finally got to sleep and were rewarded with this view in the morning, leaving the rooftop tent. It did take a little while to leave though, because we had a big fluffy Mastiff that had come to say hi, wandering around the side of the tent this morning. So we decided to stay up there a little bit longer until he went back to find the herd, and then we got out, decided to set off pretty much straight away just in case he came back to visit. In northern Spain there are approximately 333 wolf packs, and the Mastiffs have a brilliant role as livestock guardians, where they are trained to follow herds across the mountains here in the north around Galicia, Asturias, Cantabria and Castile y Leon, all of which will be travelling during this overland trip. So we'd set ourselves a mission of covering around 14-15 trails in the next 8 days, and having covered the last trail in the dark last night, we knew that it was going to be no mean feat. So we've managed to find a nice little spot just as this trail's starting. So I'm just going to cook up some dinner because it's dry. Been through a few really lovely little villages, and again they feel very Scandinavian. Yeah, very different to what I expected. Tidy little place for our lunch, and we're going to set back off. It's become overcast again and it does feel like it's going to rain, so tidied up just in time and we're going to hit the road again. So his friend was in the other field, and the cows are not the best at finding the quickest route back into the fields off the road, and we were about to find out today just how much this was going to happen and stall us on our way. It wasn't long before we came across a Cantabrian herd of cattle called the Tudankas. These grey or pale blue greyish colour cows from Cantabria mostly have white rings around their eyes, and they're so cute, but they really do have no road sense. So we're on our second trail today, which is from Ruenta to Puente Nansa. I'm hoping I'm saying that sort of right. And yeah, I think it's going to take us over the tops of some hills, and then we'll find somewhere to stay again for this evening. It's now 4:10, so we're thinking a couple of trails a day, but we also want to do a bit more stop start, so it depends on the weather. Like now the wind's gone down, I think the weather's not given brilliant tomorrow. It's potentially going to rain, but if not, we might do a little bit more walking, see how we get on. But yeah, this is the second day and we're now on our trail number 4, second today. Video inside to try and help visualise where we're going. So we're heading around here and there's a path curving around the hillside back with the view of the mountains, and yeah, it's really, really pretty. With Pico Athebo to our left and Montebo to our right, we traversed across the peaks with stunning 360 views across the landscape. The wind, however, was blowing a gale, and getting out to take photos of a covey of red-legged partridges spotted in some shrubland at the edge of the peak was proving more tricky than expected. The wind was against me and the vehicle revealed our presence in the area, so I was unable to get any sharp images. At first I thought they were grey partridges, which are more commonly seen at higher elevations, but these usually low-lying, land-loving red-legged birds are also at times seen at higher altitudes and even known to overlap habitat with the grey partridges. It was still lovely to see them though up on these higher elevations. After a long day on the trails, we decided to get cozied up for the night at lower elevation for Halloween. Tomorrow we had a 33-kilometre off-road trail to complete, which I wasn't so looking forward to before heading for the Picos, but how wrong could I have been? And tomorrow you'll see why. But lights out for tonight, and I'm just going to leave you with a couple of photographs from the day. That's it, last bag, and I'm going to put this away so we can get going. So there was no surprise when we hit another cow traffic jam today, and this was beginning to become a daily occurrence. But I was still really hopeful to see more wildlife, and this afternoon did not disappoint. But for now, for your viewing pleasure, here are more cows just hanging around on the trails. Just behind that building is it looks like a long deserted Defender. It might be lovingly restored one day, hopefully. For some reason I hadn't been excited for today, and as I continued through Cantabria, all I could think about was arriving in Pico's mountains. But the scenery was beautiful, and there was just such vast valleys as we carried on the trails. And then northern Spain was about to give me my biggest surprise when suddenly it came to life with wildlife over the misty hillsides. So I'm very excited. I just stopped for some of the horses up here on the mountainside, and they were beautiful. One of them was silhouetted by the fog, really misty backdrop, and a lovely lone tree. So I'm really hoping that comes out lovely. Super excited. I was just saying an hour ago, I can't believe we still haven't seen any deer, and a couple of deer just were around the corner. So I'm hoping we've got them on the GoPro. I've tried to take a few pictures, but we're going to go further up the hill. They've run up, down the hill, so we might see them when we get to the top here. Fingers crossed. I think I managed to get a couple of photographs. I'm not sure how sharp they are, but at least you get to see them, hopefully. And yeah, day 3 in northern Spain, and finally seen our first deers. It's been quite eventful. Might just go uphill a little bit while my hubby gets a jet boil on. Very morsey. And the horses are all lovely and chunky. We set off again. Over the hill came about 10-12 birds of prey. My camera had a complete hissy fit on me. It wouldn't auto focus. I couldn't go on my tracking, even though it was on animals and tracking. Checked my settings, didn't seem to be any rhyme or reason. Turned it on off again, nothing. There was a perfect shot just coming over the hillside, and I couldn't get it. So we drove on a little bit further, and on my hubby's side there were 3 vultures. I've just took absolutely loads of shots, and the camera's back in action. No rhyme or reason, no change of settings, just decided to play ball again. So if anybody's got any ideas as to what that is and can help me, I would much appreciate it. It's the Canon R5 that I'm using. I'm using the back buttons as well. Any ideas, please comment, because I'd love to know, and it would massively help me in the future. Please comment, please. It was amazing to see these griffin vultures resting at the side of the mountain top. And after my time in Africa, I had such a renewed respect for these birds of prey who are so important to our ecosystems, quickly clearing up carcasses to stop the spread of diseases. Truly the bin men of the bird world. Temperatures were definitely starting to drop in the Cantabrian mountains, and the mist had stayed with us most of the day, just in small bursts on the peaks of the mountain tops. But we were currently around the area of Collado de Oz at around 2,158 feet or 658 metres. And by the looks of the surrounding area, I think that was going to be the highest elevation that we made on this track today. My hands are red raw from holding the camera out. It's so cold. So it started to come down in elevation to around 1,200 feet, but the mist was really rolling in, and by this point it was pretty heavy, and I was starting to worry as to whether we might not actually be able to see in front of us at all. But the edges of the peaks weren't quite as precarious here, so did feel a little bit safer. But it was also really eerie, as there was lots of shrubs and trees, all seemed to be burnt, and at that point I hadn't realised that we were now entering parts of the mountainsides that were affected by the huge wildfires in northern Spain earlier this year. Fog just got me a little bit anxious. I'm just scared it rolls in over the path we're on. So I'm glad we're going to be able to stop soon and rest for the night. Just saying,
that wouldn't want to have a tyre blowout up here. There's not really much space to achieve anything in. You've literally got the track and then a sheer drop off the side, but it's nice and steady. Just need to add that because Mum will be probably watching. Sorry Mum. Love you.
Anyone that knows me, I'm obsessed with forests and woodlands and absolutely love trees of any variety, and mossy trees are my absolute favourite. But coming off the mountainsides of the Cantabria misty covered peaks to this beautiful autumnal coloured mossy filled forest was just a dream for me. We had seen that there was a refugio up on the hill on the other side of the forestry, so we decided to take a look while we were there and see if the wind had dropped as well. As we got out of the vehicle to take a look at the refugio, this beautiful herd of horses just came out of the mist and started walking towards us.
Hi. Are you friendly? Basically just a refuge for people up in the mountain who might need it with the weather changes. It's so cold up here, and then this is the view you get from your window. Much perfect, really. Typical equine argument. Struggling to lock the door with one hand, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to put my GoPro down and just make sure I don't get in the way of these guys. Today's definitely been an adventure. So we've come down from the refuge and back to a woodland that was a bit further down because the mist was rolling back in, and it just seemed pretty clear in here. So we've just found somewhere fairly flat, and we're going to stay here in the forest tonight. I love owls so much. Early, we've not finished one trail today, but it was 40 kilometres and we've had quite bad weather and stopped loads for the wildlife. But yeah, I'm going to enjoy listening to the owls tonight. I say good night, guys.
Thanks for being here, and if you've enjoyed this journey, you can follow along by subscribing to my channel, Morel in the Wild. Bye for now.